What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and welcome back to another Corvette review. Today we're going to be doing one that is long overdue, and that is the C5 Corvette. We're going to do the review, but most importantly we're going to talk about, is this car still worth it almost 22 years later? All right guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you pressed play. Thank you so much for all the support that you guys have given me over the years. It is definitely appreciated and I can't thank you enough. But today guys, we are going to be reviewing the C5 Corvette. This particular model is a 2000 C5 Corvette. And as you can see, it has some tasteful mods to it. For those of you new to the channel, this is actually a giveaway car. So this is my C5 Corvette, but it could be your C5 Corvette. All you gotta do is click on the link in the description down below, buy some merchandise, and get entered to win. With that out of the way guys, we are going to talk about my personal experience with the C5 Corvette and whether or not I feel it is still relevant 22 years later. This is a 2000 model and we are rapidly coming up on 2022, so we are almost 22 years old in this beautiful C5 Corvette. So without further ado, let's talk about the car itself. It's a little hard to tell on camera, but this is the dark bowling green metallic exterior color paint, which is a little bit of a touchy subject for some people. Some people absolutely freaking love it, and other people are not necessarily huge fans. I personally really like it. I'm not a giant fan of green on cars, but for this particular car, this color looks fantastic with the Kalahari style interior. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and check out the interior, since we just are mentioning the color of it, because one of the best parts of this interior is the freaking shape that it's in after 22 years. As you can see right off the bat, there is no rips, no tears along the bolstering here. The seats are great. The dashboard's fantastic. There's no cracks or rips on the dash or on the doors. Everything is still functional. Even the little LEDs or light bulbs that light up all of the dash components and door components, everything still works just like it did in 2000. Now, you guys may be saying, well, Justin, that's not that big of a deal, but it actually is. For a C5 Corvette to have all these things still 100% functional and not ripped up, it's a giant deal. They are very hard to find in this condition. Obviously, since it is a base C5 Corvette, it still has a removable targa top. It can stow right in the back, just like the current C8 Corvettes can. And of course, under the hood, we still have the typical LS1 engine providing about 350 horsepower. Now, with all of that said, the car is actually pretty lightweight. It is right around 3,000 pounds, so that LS1 engine still is able to make this car go pretty quickly. Nowadays, you guys are probably used to your 797 or 800 horsepower Hellcats and 755 horsepower ZR1s. Of course, I've driven those cars. I actually own a ZR1 C7 Corvette. I actually have owned a C8 Corvette, and they are great cars. They're fantastic in their own right, but it's because of owning cars like that I am able to give this car a fair and unbiased review. Now that we have some of the details out of the way, we are now going to talk about some of the mods. So you guys, if you're following my channel, you already know some of the mods I've done, the biggest one being the XPEL on the front clip of the car and the ceramic coating. So this car has been buffed to an absolute mirror shine and then given a ceramic coating to allow all of that perfection to be locked in. That comes to us from our friends over at the Blackout Tinting YouTube channel. I will link their stuff in the description down below if you guys are interested. But the second big one is staring us right in the face, and it's actually the sponsor of today's video. That is Black Diamond. For those of you that are not familiar with Black Diamond, they are the ones that made these particular wheels here. These are the BDF18 wheels, but they make wheels for pretty much every car out there. I will link all of their information in the description down below, guys. If you are interested, you should definitely check them out. They are some of the best priced wheels I have seen. They are forged wheels, so you're getting very high quality stuff here, and they have all kinds of different styles for different cars. I actually had the BDF25s on my C8 Corvette as well. I'll insert a picture here for you guys to see, and they totally transformed the car just like they did on the C5 Corvette here. If you guys are interested in their wheels, down in the description below will also be a discount code. HP Obsessed will get you 10% off of the already really well priced Black Diamond wheels. But anyway, guys, moving on, we also have gone through and replaced all of the lighting in the car with LEDs. So the side markers, the turn signals, the fog lights, the headlights, and coming around to the back of the car, even the tail lights have been replaced with a full LED replacement. These exhaust tips are not straight, but trust me, that fix is coming. Don't worry about that right now, because we are going to be modifying this car all the way up to the October 12th deadline for this giveaway. With all that said, this new exhaust is coming very soon. You will see a video on that in the coming days. We have also replaced the door sills with the AMT Custom Designs custom painted door sill here that gives us a much more modern approach to the Corvette. It also offers some protection so you're not kicking up your paint as you get into the car. And one of the coolest mods to the car that was actually sent to me by my friend Pat over at Pat's Garage Online is the top-down OBD2 port adapter. So with that installed in the OBD2 port of the C5 Corvette, you press unlock 3 times on your fob, and down goes your windows. Now this is something I can say that not even the C7 Corvette can do, not my year at least. The top-down module does not work for the 2019 C7 Corvette, so unfortunately I have no option there. It doesn't do it from factory and I can't get it done like that. So the C5 actually offers some functionality that even the newer Corvettes don't offer. And the best part is if you hit lock 3 times, they go back up. Now, the excellent folks over at the AMT Custom Designs also provided us with the hydro-dipped carbon fiber looking intake manifold cover, as well as the actual intake cover with the C5 Corvette logo filled in. Now, as you guys can tell, there's not a massive amount of mods to this car, not yet at least, and that is absolutely fine because the car is fantastic without mods. Without making it all the way through this video, I'm going to answer the question, is this car still relevant 22 years later? The answer is abso-freaking-lutely yes. The C5 is one of the best examples of Corvette that I have ever driven. Now, that is, again, coming from somebody who has a 2019 Corvette ZR1 that is pretty much an all-out monster and the definition of Corvette performance, but at the same time, this thing cannot be discounted. The C5 Corvette is one of the coolest ones out there. And the best part, you can get them for a decent price. In today's market, not so much, but before the entire COVID-19 thing, you could have gotten this car for between 12 and 15 grand. This car behind me is probably closer to 20 at this point, but even at 20, it is a heck of a buy because you are getting absolutely fantastic performance and you're getting a Corvette. So the next question for a car like this is going to be, how daily drivable is it? And the answer for that is very. Believe it or not, you're driving around a V8 car with only 2 seats, but it actually has a lot of room and a lot of comfort to offer. So right off the bat, one of the biggest areas of the car is, of course, the rear hatch area. And if we open this up, I mean, you can fit some serious cargo in this baby. Now, like I said, it is only a 2-seater car, but it offers so much room back here that I was actually able to fit everything I needed for the Corvettes at Carlisle 2021 show in this car that wouldn't even come close to fitting in the C7 Corvette, and definitely not the C8 Corvette. My only other option would have been to drive a third car, which would have been my truck, to fit everything that I was able to fit in here. All of that while maintaining a 350 horsepower V8 engine. And of course, looking gorgeous while doing it. So guys, I've already answered the question if the C5 Corvette is still relevant 22 years later. We've gone over some of the exterior details and exterior mods and all of that. So the only thing left is, how does the car drive? So before we jump in and take it for a ride, I want to kind of preface this with the fact that you are in fact looking at a 22-year-old Corvette. And other than the fact that it has new tires on it, a lot of the stuff on this car is original. So a lot of this stuff on this car is 22 years old. With all of that said, this car really handles its own on the road in a way that would absolutely blow your mind if you climb into it and drive it while knowing it's 22 years old. With the new wheels and tires, the car handles even better than it did stock, but at the same time, it wasn't bad stock either. The only reason I replaced the wheels is because these ones give it a little bit more of a current look, and I think they really just set off the look of the car in a way that just absolutely blows my mind on a daily basis. I can't believe when I look at this car that it is 22 years old. So anyway, with all of that said, guys, we are going to jump in the car. We're going to take it for a ride, and I'm going to give you some of my thoughts and impressions of this C5 Corvette on the road and its performance and road manners. So let's jump in and take a ride. And here we sit, guys, in a 22-year-old Corvette, and yes, the air conditioning is working because it is 83 degrees. It's actually closer to 90 out there if you ask me, but the fact that the air conditioning still works and it's all original, again, blows my freaking mind. Now, you guys may be asking yourselves, well, how many miles are on this car, Justin? And the answer is $74,238. Now, I am driving the car on a fairly regular basis while doing the giveaway, so the mileage will increase a little bit, but the only reason I really drive the car is because I absolutely love it that much. Now, again, the next question you guys are going to ask is, Justin, if you love this car so much, why are you giving it away? Well, there's a couple reasons, but the first one is I am absolutely blown away by all the support that you guys offer me, and I wanted to give back in some way, and I wanted it to be a little bit bigger than just your typical free t-shirt or something along those lines. So this gives a subscriber of my channel a really, really great car, and you have a really good chance of winning because of the amount of subscribers that I do have. So anyway, guys, we are going to go ahead and take this for a ride. I'm going to kind of bring you along in a POV style fashion, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit along the way about what I like about the car and how it drives. All right, guys, so here we go. Again, you're going to kind of come along in a POV style fashion here. And I don't know if you can hear it on the GoPro real well, but the stock exhaust actually sounds pretty good on the car. In my opinion, it is a little too muted, but you got to remember this is a 2000. And in the 2000 era, a lot of people weren't really opening up their exhaust to sound as loud as some of them do nowadays factory. So for this car being as old as it is and sounding as good as it does with the stock exhaust, it's a great thing. I absolutely love the way it sounds, but at the same time, we need to get those exhaust tips straightened out, and I know that. Like I said, guys, it is coming. But in the meantime, we're going to do a quick acceleration here, so here we go. So like I said, guys, the car gets up and handles itself in a very, very, very good fashion for how old it is. It's hard to tell on the camera, I know, but the car actually accelerates in a way that doesn't leave me, an owner of a 2019 Corvette ZR1, really wanting more. I mean, the car is pretty fast for its, you know, everything else said. It's a 2000. It is still pretty fast. It handles itself pretty well. It's got decent road manners. I would not have a problem road tripping in this car if it wasn't something I was giving away. We'll say you win and you live in California, you fly out, you grab this car and you drive it back, I would pretty much say you're not going to have any issues with it. And like I said, you could pop the top off, have this thing driving around as basically a convertible. You are not going to have any problems. Now, with all that said, guys, the car handles itself very well in a daily driver fashion. So if you wanted to literally drive this thing back and forth to work every day, you absolutely could. If you keep the RPM low like I have it right now, you can barely hear the exhaust at all. The only time you really hear it is if you smash the gas. I am going to be putting an exhaust on the car that will give it a little bit more volume, but at the same time, it's not going to be obnoxious. Surprisingly enough, one of the areas the car does actually really shine is handling. Now, you might not think for a 22-year-old car that this thing would handle very well, but it actually feels like a go-kart. It feels like it's on rails when you're going around turns and things, because of how low the car sits, how light the car is, and the fact that they have pretty close to 50-50 weight distribution. This car handles really well. Now, once again, we are inside the car here, and you can see the very stock radio, the very stock HVAC controls. None of the buttons are worn off, nothing's showing white, all the lights are working, the LEDs are still showing the current time and everything. This car is in phenomenal shape for the usage. We're gonna go under a tunnel here. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a sound of the exhaust, the stock one. Shortly after I got the car from Klick Lewis, guys, I had to replace the battery. And if you guys know anything about the batteries in the cars, these are not cars you want to have sit too long without being on a battery tender. But the best part is, the battery that I replaced, which was still working, was from 2003. So the car had a battery replaced at some point, apparently in 2003. That was the actual year on the battery, and it was still semi-functional. But guys, the car has a brand new battery, so it fires up first time every time, which again, the LS1 is just such a bulletproof motor. You're never going to have problems with that kind of thing. Again, we're going to do another little pull here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the car, it does get up and get out of its own way. It doesn't feel slow. At no point when I'm driving this car do I feel like I don't have enough power. With that said, there is a lot of mods out there that can add extra power to this car if you're not feeling that this is enough. All right, guys, so we are back at the Horsepower Obsessed garage, and yeah, here we are. This is the ZR1 I was talking about, and there sits the C5 in the sun, all looking shiny and fantastic as always. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a visual reference for the ZR1 that I was mentioning. This is one of the cars that literally just defines Corvette, but at the same time, you cannot discount this thing. This thing is just so freaking awesome and so awesome looking, and whether it's worth it 22 years later, absolutely. Now guys, this is going to basically wrap up this video. I want to give you all a big thanks for sticking around this long, and I want to make sure that you guys all know that you can win this car. Just click that link in the description down below, buy some merchandise, and you will be entered to win this. Klick Lewis Chevrolet in Palmyra, Pennsylvania, and myself have partnered together to give you this car. So all of you guys out there, you all have an equal chance of winning, and yeah, the more you buy, the better your chances. So I wanted to make this kind of a review video, a little bit of a show and tell video showing all the mods that we've done to the car so far, but guys, there are a lot more coming very soon. I recently met up with somebody at Corvettes at Carlisle that is going to throw the book at this thing, so stay tuned for all those updated videos coming very soon, guys. But in the meantime, I just wanted to thank all of you, wish you all the best luck at possibly winning this beautiful car, and let you guys know how much I absolutely love it. So like I said, guys, if I wasn't giving this car away, I would be keeping this car. And I was given that option from Klick Lewis in Palmyra, Pennsylvania. And I battled for a little while on whether or not I wanted to just keep it or if I wanted to give it to one of you guys. And when I hit 50,000 subscribers, I thought, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity. Let me give back to you guys. But guys, that is going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, please smash that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content so we can continue to create this kind of stuff for you and make sure that it gets out to as many other Corvette enthusiasts as possible. If you have any questions about the C5 Corvette, the giveaway, the black diamond wheels, Klick Lewis, anything, go ahead and shoot them in the comments down below, and I will make sure you guys get an answer. If you have not subscribed yet, please do, guys. I'm going to have loads of Corvette information, videos, modifications coming that you guys are not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload. How would you like to win this Corvette? It may be a lot easier than you may think. If you guys aren't familiar with my YouTube channel, it is called Horsepower Obsessed, and I just recently hit 50,000 subscribers, and because of that, I wanted to give back. All you have to do is go to my website, horsepowerobsessed.com, scroll down and click on the HPO merchandise section. Every $10 you spend is one entry to win this beautiful C5 Corvette. So right off the bat, we have the black diamond wheels, which gives the car an amazingly updated appearance. In the front end, we have the entire bumper and hood covered with XPEL paint protection thanks to our friends at Blackout Tinting. The rest of the car has been paint corrected and ceramic coated. So you are getting one of the best examples of what Chevy had to offer with Corvette with this specific car. If you want to follow along with the mods on this particular car until the deadline of the giveaway, check out my YouTube channel, Horsepower Obsessed, and make sure you get entered before October 12th, 2021 so you can possibly take this car home with you.